Hello. How's it going? Hi, everybody. It's me. I'm Jon. Welcome to Jon Does. This is the show, Jon Does, where Jon does stuff and then talks about it. I'm getting there. I promise. One of these days, we'll be doing stuff on camera. Just not today. Anyways, how y'all doing? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday in the world. Well, I guess Tuesday's over in some parts of the world. I'm on the West Coast of the United States of America, and that's where time ends. Is the Pacific area. That's where time goes to die. Is out here on the West Coast. That's why we're so relaxed all the time. That and the weed, for sure. Welcome back to Jon Does. The best way to support this channel is to visit wilddinosaur.com and go check out my merch store and go buy something. I got some cool stuff. I got these sweet baseball style tees. I'm going to move the mic. I'm going to stand up so you can see it. But I will adjust the mic like so. This is my I have no friends on this planet image that I have on these baseball style tees. You know, I don't mention this, but the baseball tees have different colors too. You can get different color arrangements. I have a white and green one. There's red, white, gray, all different kinds of color schemes. So if you like the baseball tees, and also yesterday I did an unboxing on my new tote bags that I got. These are great. This one's called Lakeside. I had to give Linda's bag back to her. She was missing her special things. She kept saying, she's like, my special things need a place. And I'd held on to that bag for far too long. So thank you, Linda from sales, for allowing me to borrow the Wild Dinosaur bag you got. But now I got my own. This one's Lakeside. Nice canvas bags with these sweet handles that you can get in different colors. There's red, black, and yellow. I got one with the yellow handles here. I keep forgetting the name of my own art, but that's another image you can get at wilddinosaur.com. wilddinosaur.com. Welcome to Wild Dinosaurs experience at wilddinosaur.com. Anyways, I was getting a little goofy here. Because first of all, I'm an idiot. And second of all, I got to take the glasses off for this because it's kind of, we're going to start the episode off on a serious tone a little bit. I mean, there's been things going on, people passing away. We've probably all heard about Anne Heche. She's legally dead. She was in a car accident that put her in a self-induced coma, and she is not expected to survive and has been pronounced legally dead. But I also heard this today. One of my favorite directors, or sorry, I hesitate to say favorite directors because this person did a lot of stuff, and not all of it I liked, but this person directed one of my favorite movies of all time, which is The Neverending Story, and that is Wolfgang Petersen passed away. Wolfgang Petersen directed 2006 Poseidon, 2004's Troy, The Perfect Storm, Air Force One, Outbreak, In the Line of Fire, Shattered Enemy Mine, And of course, my favorite, The Neverending Story. Wolfgang Petersen has passed away. And it's terrible whenever anybody loses or passes away. I don't actually know if there was a specific cause of death. Let me see if I can find something. I don't think there is one. He was 81 years old though. He died at his home in Brentwood, California, which fantastic. That's a place to go, I guess. Here it is. The cause was pancreatic cancer. A publicist for the agency he worked for, or he was a part of. Yeah, that's really sad. It's unfortunate, like I said before, when anyone passes away. And it's especially sad when that one of these people or said person is responsible for one of your favorite movies of all time. So yeah, that is Wolfgang Petersen. I chose this graphic picture. There was a bunch of pictures I could have chose from, but this was on the set of The Neverending Story, and it just brings me so much joy to see this. I mean, in the picture, he looks like he should be the snail rider. Anywho, so yeah, I don't know if anybody else is fans of Wolfgang Petersen, but yeah, he passed away, and so now we've got a big never-ending hole in our hearts. That was gold. This story I want to get out of the way because I'm really tired of talking about it, or even it being in my my space at all. Even the content I consume usually references these things, but Ezra Miller's back, and we have finally got a statement from Ezra Miller, aka Ezra Miller's publicist, management. They've had a number of things happen over the last couple of years. They've been arrested on multiple occasions for assault. There's been potential child endangerment of I don't know, family living on his farm in Vermont with guns lying around. That's all hearsay or whatever. But then there's the reports of potential grooming, which seemingly has been going on for years and years and years, a lot longer than this last 2-year tirade that has been Ezra Miller. But they did issue a statement. Oh, weird. Sorry. I just got some secret documents passed under the door, aka junk mail. Let's see. I'll just read this article from the Hollywood Reporter, because I can read. I promise you, I can read. Yesterday did not demonstrate that talent very well, but I will try again. I promise I can do this. If you guys have heard me read before, I'm giving excuses. Watch me butcher this. After troubling behavior that has led to charges of harassment and felony burglary, as well as allegations of assault and abuse, Ezra Miller says they are seeking treatment for complex mental health issues. Miller says in the statement sent via a representative to the Hollywood Reporter, quote, Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I'm committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. The statement comes after a year where Miller has been the subject of much controversy. Miller, who uses they/them pronouns, was arrested on 2 separate occasions in Hawaii, once in March for disorderly conduct and harassment following an incident at a karaoke bar, and again in April for an alleged assault in which Miller is accused of striking a woman on the head at a private residence. The parents of an 18-year-old filed an order of protection against Miller, alleging that the actor groomed their child from the age of 12, which, again, had been going on for a long time. 6 years or more, potentially. The child has denied being coerced by Miller in an Instagram post. Most recently, Miller was charged August 8th with felony burglary in Vermont, where they reside, after allegedly lifting bottles of alcohol from an unoccupied local home in May. After the series of scandals, the fate of Miller's most high-profile project, DC's title The Flash, has been called into question. The Hollywood Reporter reported last week that the studio Warner Brothers was exploring several avenues for the big-budget film, including limited press release, the press Miller would do around the release, or even shelving the project as a last resort. It was reported that when Warner had received indication that the 29-year-old Miller, whose mother had begun accompanying the actor, would seek professional help. The Flash is set for release June 23rd, 2023, so that is still a year away. There's a lot of things that can happen between now and then. Now, they did issue this apology, which to me sounds like it was not written by Ezra Miller. It's probably written by management or publicist. And they, I don't really know the sincerity behind this yet. That's yet to be seen. We, the audience, who have been hearing about this stuff, have been asking for something. And this is something. This is an apology. This is acknowledgement that things have not been going well based on their actions, and that they are seeking help. So I think Warner Brothers was prepping us by giving us 3 options, probably knowing that this is the best option for everybody, you know. Ezra apologizes, lays low, tries to get help. They release the movie with limited press or no press, with Miller involved, which we kind of expected to happen. I guess this is still an ongoing thing, because this isn't really gonna be resolved. I mean, this is partly resolved, but it's still ongoing. I mean, we again, the collective, we asked for something. We've been waiting for 2 years since we first heard about an alleged assault in, was it Iceland? We've now gotten an acknowledgement that their actions were bad. It still remains to be seen, you know, like, if Ezra Miller can just lay low for the next year, best case scenario for everyone. If more stuff comes out or more incidents happen, that's, I mean, an instant it's an instant disqualification of them from the role, in my opinion. I do think it's hard, though, for some people. I mean, I think the audience is smart enough to know when a recast happens and why. there's no way Ezra Miller continues as the Flash. In my personal opinion, I mean, the movie's going to come out, but we're going to hear recasting. This movie was supposed to be the big DC reboot, which I don't even know if they understand what that means anymore because of the restructuring there at Warner Discovery. But this is a $250 million movie that can't really get shelved. They have to see some return on it. Yeah, I mean, what do you do? Do you... I think I would probably recast knowing that the audience is smart enough, but I think there's also a fair amount of people that have the valid criticism of why would I invest my time in this movie even if it's supposed to be good when it's not really setting up the future of your DC universe, because this isn't your Flash. This is just a person that was in a movie that you made that is not going to be continuing. So I can see some people questioning whether they even care. I mean, honestly, do we care? Do we care about not about the terrible things that this person does, but do we care what Warner Brothers does in this scenario? They're really in a pickle. They're in a real pickle, you know? And I just don't know that. I mean, I'm personally done with wanting to talk about this specific scenario any further. It's just taking up so much of our time. And the last thing that did this to me was another one of Warner Brothers' problems, and that was the whole Amber Heard trial. That is still messy. I don't keep up with much of that, but I did hear there was some new things that have come to light, or something, I don't know, regarding Johnny Depp, and I don't know. That's messy, and I don't know. DC, my guys. Wow. I mean, oof. Ezra Miller, I don't have much of an opinion because I hadn't seen them in too many things, to be quite honest. Obviously the Flash, I liked what they were doing with this version of the Flash, and this is somebody who'd watched many seasons of the Flash television show. I don't watch that show anymore. I stopped watching the Arrowverse once Arrow ended. I jumped on the beginning, like the first season of Arrow came out, and I was really in the prime of my like superhero ness, I guess. Yeah, I watched Arrow for all 8 seasons. Some of them were pretty bad. Some of them were pretty great. But once Arrow ended and they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, that's when I was like, the curse has been lifted. Oliver's dead. Spoiler alert. But I did enjoy the Arrowverse overall. I thought they were doing some cool stuff. TV, DC was doing what Marvel was doing, but on TV. And maybe not the best quality. I mean, it definitely, TV will almost never compete with big budget budgets, really. That's what I mean. But let's see. If they do recast, well, when they do recast, one thing, and I've been vocal about this since they started adding the Flash into the movies, because there was already a Flash, and people were asking, was he going to be Grant Gustin, the TV Flash? Is he going to be the Flash in the movies? And I always wanted them separate. I always wanted different versions. There's definitely different people that hold the mantle. Comic books don't always, or comic book movies don't always have to adhere to the source material, in my opinion, as long as it's, maintaining the core value of those characters. But I don't think Grant Gustin would be. Not to say that he couldn't make the jump to movies from TV. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think he's a pretty good actor. I didn't watch Glee, but I know he was on Glee. And I've liked him on what the multiple seasons I'd seen him on The Flash and in Arrow, because he started off in Arrow first as Barry Allen. But I don't think he would be a good replacement in that universe, even though I know they've already set it up. They did it in an episode of The Flash, I think. Or no, it was in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. They did a thing where both the Flashes meet, which was cool. It was a cool scene. But I think Grant Gustin has done 8 or 9 years of The Flash already. And they have done a lot of Barry Allen's like more iconic storylines. And unless they're gonna like completely change up the character and the character's arc, I think if I were Grant Gustin, I would not do the movies, because as an actor, you probably want to take on new roles and new material, and to just repeat the same stuff for maybe another 10 years. I mean, that's 20 plus years of his life that he would be the Flash, which can be cool, but I just don't see him saying yes. But I also don't even see Warner Brothers asking. So I don't know. I think they'd look for another star. I think Logan Lerman, as we mentioned before, is a popular choice. I know a lot of people bring him up, or Elliot Page, and I think that's an interesting choice. I just don't know if I've seen and I think I said this before, and this is mostly coming off of Umbrella Academy, where the character Elliot Page portrays is not a very high energy character, and Barry Allen doesn't need to be either, but this version that we're getting of Barry Allen is a bit quirky and witty, and I just don't know if that's something that Elliot Page can do. I think they're fantastic actor, but I just don't know if I see this particular part for him. So I don't know. If they cast Elliot Page, I'd be super pumped and excited for them to sink their teeth into the role, and I would be excited to see what they do with it. But I just, in regards to casting, I just don't know for myself. But I wouldn't complain if that was the final casting. So anyways, you guys sick of this as I am? I just want to see the Flash movie already. I mean, this is going to be a hard movie to do press around anyways, because of, Ezra Miller has stolen the show in regards to controversies around this, but this movie was supposed to come out like 5 years ago, something like that. Like, they've gone through 5 or 6 directors. Like, there was a whole mess behind the Flash before all the Ezra Miller stuff started happening. So, doing press is essentially just like rehashing every problem that's happened with this movie, including the Ezra Miller thing. So, I don't know. I'll get more excited about the concept of a Flash movie once there is another trailer. There's already a trailer, but we got it like 6 months ago, and the movie doesn't come out for a year. So I don't know. In the event that since Batgirl was canceled, Michael Keaton was making an appearance in that as Bruce Wayne, reprising his role as Bruce Wayne Batman. And we're also supposed to get that in this Flash movie too. It sounds like the best case scenario is happening for Warner Brothers. But in the event that things go south and this movie doesn't come out, I don't think we're ever going to see Michael Keaton come back as Batman. If this movie gets shelved, he gets shelved. And that's a bummer, I think, for people who were fans. We're fans of the Michael Keaton Batman. So I don't know. It's a mess. I think it's good that they did come out and apologize. It doesn't sound like it's very sincere at the moment to me. It sounds like a very sterile marketing, or not marketing, but what am I trying to say? Press release. It's a stale press release from somebody who desperately needed to say something, and their camp has now come out and said, we apologize, and we'll see to what degree, and where they go. We do hope for the best for them, but at the same time, let's move along with the Flash stuff. All right, I'm gonna do a quick commercial break, and we'll be back, and we'll talk about some more stuff.
From the day you were born to the day you die, we are there. From the drugs you consume to the food you eat, we made that. When you are at work or being intimate, we are watching. Robots have always been here and always will. Friendly because we choose to be.
My retirement plan is a body bag.
I'm Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities, and I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too. This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure it's my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. All right. Dang, every time the camera like goes into low power mode, it like switches its thing a bit. It looked like I was slouching, but I hadn't moved. So we have up today. So I do have another story I'm going to read from Deadline, written by Lynette Rice. But it is all about This guy, Guillermo del Toro, master of ceremonies, director of Pan's Labyrinth, and was originally going to do the Hobbit movies, which that would have been interesting. I mean the Hobbit movies, not the Lord of the Rings movies. Peter Jackson wasn't gonna come back for those, and then whole bunch of nonsense happened, and Guillermo del Toro left, and Peter Jackson came back and finished that movie with no moving of the deadline, which I think caused a lot of problems for people. I think that led to the use of the CG that people complained about, compared to the Lord of the Rings, which used a lot of practical stuff. I mean, there was CG for sure, but so this guy, Guillermo del Toro, has some new stuff coming out, and we'll watch the trailer here in a second, but I want to get through this article first because it's got some information we might need to know about. So Netflix on Monday released the first trailer and the premiere date for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, a 4-day double episode event planned for this Halloween season. Del Toro has curated a collection of genre-defying stories meant to challenge our traditional notions of horror. From macabre to magical, gothic to grotesque, and classically creepy, these 8 sophisticated and sinister tales, including 2 original stories by Del Toro, are brought to life by a team of writers and directors personally chosen by Del Toro. After debuting October 25th, 2 all-new tales will debut daily through October 28th, when the entire collection of 8 stories will be available on Netflix to Netflix subscribers around the world. The Cabinet of Curiosities was set out to showcase the realities existing outside of our normal world, the anomalies and curiosities. We handpicked and curated a group of stories and storytellers to deliver these tales. Whether they come from outer space, supernatural lore, or simply within our minds, said Del Toro in a statement, just in time for Halloween, each of these 8 tales is a fantastical peek inside the cabinet of delights existing underneath the reality we live in. There are quick breakdowns of each story coming out. I'm not going to go through each one, but I will list the titles. I think we should be able to hold ourselves to know much more about these stories until they come out. I mean, if you want, you can read the Deadline article. But the first one's Dreams in the Witch House. Second one is Graveyard Rats. Then Lot 36. Then Pickman's Model. Then The Autopsy. The Murmuring. You know what? There's some interesting people around these. Maybe I will read off what's going on in here. Dreams in the Witch House. Rupert Grant from Servant. There's a bunch of people that star in an episode written by Mika Watkins, based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft and directed by Catherine Hardwicke. Graveyard Rats, who did this, David Hewlett, stars in an episode written based on the short story by Henry Kuttner. Sorry, I didn't want to mispronounce that one. And directed by Vincenzo Natali. Natalgrass. Okay, Lot 36. Tim Blake Nelson. And there's so many actors and actresses that I just don't know. Sorry, this one's kind of weird. There's a bunch of people from The Walking Dead, Predator, Man in the High Castle. They'll start with Tim Blake Nelson in an episode written by Regina Coronado, who did some Deadwood, which excites me, based on an original story by Del Toro and directed by Guillermo Navarro, who did Godfather of Harlem. Pickman's model, Ben Barnes, Crispin Glover, and Orena Lehman star in an episode written by Lee Patterson, based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft, and directed by Keith Thomas. The Autopsy has F. Murray Abrams, who is in Amadeus or Mythic Quest, if you watch Mythic Quest. Man, the shot keeps... I do keep sliding. Will appear in an episode written by David S. Goyer, who did The Sandman, based on a short story by Michael Shea and directed by David Pryor. The Murmuring is based on an original story by Del Toro and directed by Jennifer Kent. The Outside, Kate Micucci. I said that right. Kate Micucci, that's her name. She's funny. She's been in a bunch of stuff that I've liked. And Martin Starr, from Silicon Valley and Freaks and Geeks and stuff like that. Lead an episode written by Haley Z. Boston, who did Brand New Cherry Flavor, based on a short story by comic book author Emily Carroll and directed by Anna Lily Amirpour. Sorry. And then The Viewing. Oh man, that's awesome. Peter Weller, who's the original RoboCop. Eric Andre from the Eric Andre Show. Sophia Boutella. Charlene Yee. Steve Agee, from Peacemaker. Oh man, this looks great. Starring an episode directed by Panos Cosmatos, who did Mandy, who also writes along with Aaron Stewart on AHN. Sorry. Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities is created and executive produced by Del Toro. Executive produced by Jay Miles. Oh, this is all stuff that... Yeah, okay. So, all created by Guillermo del Toro, and a bunch of scary short stories. So, let's check out... I do have the sound turned off this time. Ryan, if you're watching, let me know. Or, I mean, anybody, really. If anybody's watching, let me know. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this graphic and pop this up. And here we go. This is the Cabinet of Curiosity by Guillermo del Toro. This is the trailer. And he speaks throughout this whole thing, kind of explaining some of it. But we just went through that. But this is... some of the behind the scenes and concept art for some of the story arcs going on here. But this looks pretty good. I'm interested. I didn't realize it was going to be this like 2 episodes a day for... Did they say, was it an episode or 2 a day? But the way they're releasing this is cool. So... Yeah, I don't know. I've never been the biggest horror fan, but as I've gotten older, I don't know why. I think it's... I don't know. Well, I do kind of know why. I hate horror movies from like the 2000s. The early 2000s. They're not... It was not a great time for horror films. And I particularly hate... something that they did for most of them is this like grayscale, like sterile look, like The Ring. I hate that. I cannot stand watching something with that. So yeah, this comes out for Halloween. But yeah, I can't stand watching the like sterile color palette that they use in a lot of horror films. But I like monsters. I I was never the kid that like gathered classic monster magazines or anything like that. I think that might have even gone out of publication before I was born. I don't remember. Actually, I'm curious. Is it still going on? I don't think it is. No. 83. There's a... So I'm just looking at the wiki on famous monsters. It looks like there was a resurgence in like 2008 or something. But yeah, it wasn't anything I grew up reading. It originally gone out of publication like the year before I was born. But a lot of people that I look up to in the filmmaking world, the special effects world, they all watched or read Famous Monsters magazine. Yeah, I think this looks good. I'm excited about the various teams that worked on some of these episodes. Like, what is it? Eric Andre, Peter Weller, and Eric Andre and Sophia Patella. Like, those are pretty big names, actually. I mean, whatever. There's F. Murray Abrams. I don't know if you watch Mythic Quest at all on Apple Plus, but if you don't, you should try it. Pat and I should do an episode about that because we both really like that show. And F. Murray Abrams is the he's the writer for this video game. So Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, his character in the show is this guy named Ian who creates this video game that's super popular, and they are just their video game company trying to keep up. And Ian, Rob McElhenney's character, he kind of thinks he's a Steve Jobs, but he's not. he's just a video game dude. F. Murray Abraham, he's the writer. He was a failed science fiction writer back in the 70s, and they end up getting him as the writer for the game, and he's some of the best one-liners in the whole show. And I think I heard that he's not coming back for the next season, which makes me sad. So yeah, I don't know. All right, well, I got no one to work off today. It's kind of a bummer. I might call it an early episode. I got no one to talk to. That's okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Let's see. Was there anything else? Close this Famous Monsters one. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about too, but I can't remember what it was. Was it something here on Oh, hey Ryan, what's up, dude? Oh yeah, there was some images. I didn't prep for this, but there was some images. Oh dang, I should have done this story. There's a Tim Burton produced Wednesday Addams show coming. Eating peaches. That sounds great. There's a new Wednesday Addams series coming to Netflix. Let's go over this real quick, even though I don't have the images. This is also from Hollywood Reporter. It says, Wednesday showrunner says Netflix series isn't an Addams Family reboot, is more like an 8-hour Tim Burton movie. It's something that lives within the Venn diagram of what happens before, but it's its own thing. Co-creator Miles Miller says it's not trying to be the movies or the 60s TV show. Well, that's always, that can be good. But yeah, there was some stuff coming out from this. Was there any release date that this Wednesday thing looks basic from what I've seen so far. It looks more interesting than the Munsters reboot. Oh, I said it. The Munsters. I brought that up again, didn't I? Wednesday, let's see. Speaking of Burton, the Wednesday EP, who was pitched on the 1991 pass was considered. It's random. This is how the article ends. As part of the interview, the co-creators also teased the Addams family's various character looks, with one notable absent, Uncle Fester. His presence, Miller and Go say, is still under wraps. We have no comment on Uncle Fester. Go says, watch the show. Gee, I wonder if he's coming. Oh, sorry. Rating hard art for Wednesday. Oh man, I have some thoughts about an adult Addams family. But no, I don't think this is it. This is Netflix. Yeah, I don't see a release date in this article. I'm gonna look that up. Netflix release. I don't think there is one. It just says 2022. So some of the images that came out, I'm going to get rid of this Guillermo del Toro image. You know what? I got time. I'm going to try to find this and pull it up. This might be too much. Well, there's the let's see if is that a JPEG? Nope, it's not. Dang it. All right, I'm gonna try to do this real quick. I know I hate watching stuff where people are doing technical stuff, but screen grab. There we go. This is gonna look a little shittier than I would like. Oh, I almost closed the live stream. That would have sucked. So let's get in here. This is just the cast so far that's been released for Wednesday. And if you notice, that is, shrink this down a little bit, full screen. That is Catherine Zeta-Jones. She deeps beneath lasers. Whoa. No, she's playing Morticia Addams. Oh, too far. And then I don't know who the kids are. And then Luis Guzman. Whoops. Is oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the dad's name? Well, he's the dad of that family. Which when I remember hearing about the casting a while ago, and I was like, what? Gomez, thanks. Oh, jeez. Why does my brain not work sometimes? Gomez Addams, yeah. When they first announced the casting, Luis Guzman, I was like, as Gomez Addams? I mean, yeah, that sounds like it works. And then Catherine Zeta-Jones, like, I didn't see that as a thing. But the image looks good. I'm excited for this. This looks more in line with a reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it. Something that, just this image alone, makes me more interested in this than the Munsters. Sorry. Monsters looks like garbage. So, you guys heard anything about this Wednesday show? I like the Addams Family. I always did. I saw both the movies when I was a kid, in theaters, both the Tim Burton movies, and yeah, they're both great. That second one when they go to camp. Oh man, the whole play they put on about Thanksgiving is great. So, anyways, all right. Well, I'm gonna cut this short today, a little bit short. That was all I had to talk about today. I do have some stuff to talk about soon. Actually, so one of these days this week, I'm gonna do a Game of Thrones episode. Probably, we'll see, maybe Friday. I was gonna have Dusty on, but I think Dusty's a little busy, and we got House of the Dragon starting. Is that this weekend? Yeah, 21st. So we'll do some Game of Thrones talk before that starts on Sunday. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have lined up. Nothing yet. I'm still working on some ideas. I was also playing a little bit more of Horizon Forbidden West. That game's grown on me a bit. I do find certain parts frustrating, but I like running around. I just made it into a new part of the map, so yes. Let's go. I probably got another day of wanting to play this game for the rest of my life, and before I switch it up and start getting back into writing some of the music and the short that I need to be working on. Anywho, all right. Well, thanks for sticking around. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll have more entertaining shows coming. I need to hear some feedback too. What do you guys like? What don't you like about the show? And that isn't just for people that are live right now in the chat. I mean, write in the comments, leave comments, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It's really helpful, and it helps me. It helps the channel grow with the stupid YouTube algorithm things. So make sure to like. Ryan, I know you're entertained. At least I hope you're entertained, and I know you're active. You're probably the most active person in this community. Oh, you watched the Roger Waters interview? I'm sorry. I don't know. Did it make you like the final cut at all? It'd be fun to get. I know I keep saying this stuff about Zoom, getting the Zoom call set up, but it would be great to have you come on here and just completely shit on Roger Waters. I would love that. If there's one person that wants to watch that episode, it's me. The final cut was not entertaining. I agree. The final cut sucks. I don't like that record. Any Roger Waters led Pink Floyd record is not my favorite. The Wall is one of my least favorite records. It's kind of down there with. It's definitely above the final cut. I need to. Maybe I should do a Pink Floyd album ranking sometime. I did that Mars Volta one, so. And I know Ryan and I have talked about doing a discussion on Led Zeppelin records at one point too. We'll get this set up. We'll get this set up, I promise. One of these days. By next fall. By next summer's Comic-Con, I'll be doing Zoom calls. All right. Well, I know I've said it like 3 times now. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go. I need to eat. I've had, all I had today was a bowl of cereal. So started getting back into cereal. I haven't really eaten cereal in a long time. I go through bouts of it. I loved it as a kid, but Led Zeppelin albums are more entertaining than Pink Floyd albums. I would agree. I think that's a discussion we definitely should have. I think I like both Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, and they were both very formative for me at a certain point in my life. But I do tend to go back towards more Led Zeppelin than Pink Floyd. So that's all I'll say for now. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Jon Does. Oh yeah, don't forget, check out wilddinosaur.com and go buy some stuff. I really need to make some sales, guys. T-shirts, sweatshirts, sweaters, tote bags, all the goods. And also don't forget to donate to Planned Parenthood, because it's a really important cause. And Planned Parenthood is pretty good organization that does a lot of great things for both men and women's reproductive rights, health. They do healthcare. All right, guys. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.